So in this first workshop, what we're going to do is we're just going to create, they create a terrain. We're just going to do a simple plane here though. Before we do that, we're going to just grab a new project and we're going to make sure that we actually go and put a folder for this. So in our Unity folder, we're going to make a new folder and just going to call this workshop 2. Go into that, select the folder. I'm going to bring any assets in at the moment, make sure it's 3D. Just going to create that. Now for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to create just a little bit of a plane here for them to land on, bit of light, a cube that's going to rotate, and then just a first person. So let's just get the plane first of all. So we'll come up here, just going to put a plane in here. Alright, go to my inspector, and he is there. We're just going to reset him just to make sure he's right there. Next one we're going to do is we're going to add a little cube. He's in that 0 bit. Just going to drag him up. Alright, move him back a little bit. That way. Going to resize him so it looks a bit more like a wall. Alright, and go and drag him up. Alright, maybe resize him a little bit. Actually down a little bit here. Okay. Now what we're going to do is, actually while we're here, we might just go and put a new material in here. So over in here, we're going to go create there, create a material. Let's call it green for the grass. And I'm going to go to the inspector of that, grab there, grab a bit of green, and close that, drag that green over onto there. I'm going to create a new material here and call this blue. And again, inspector, grab a bit of a blue color here and drag the blue onto there so we can just sort of see that. Just move this guy here a little bit more over so he's kind of in the center a little bit. Now, what we need to do now is we need to add a little bit of a light. So create directional light. Shift that up out of the way. It doesn't really matter where we put that. The light's still much the same. Just going to leave that just really so we can see it. Then we want to add a little first person controller in here. If you don't have it, you go to Assets, Import Package, Character Controller. We just want all of these for the moment. Don't need them all. We're just going to go them all anyway for the moment. Drag all of that in. Go into our standard assets, character control, grab our character here, dump him in there. See his camera is pointing this way, so we're going to move that in a minute. Go to our inspector, drag him up a little bit. So we're going to drag him up a little bit here so we can see this thing. I'm going to rotate him around, so I'm going to click on this, just grab the little green bar. You can see that the camera sort of points towards there. Okay. Now, what we need to do is we need to make sure that these objects stay where they are, right? Otherwise they're going to fall through the ground. So we need to go and make sure. So you see, like if I play him, oh, there we go. Alright, there we are. He's all good. This guy here's a little bit. Alright, so that's all standing there. I might just move him up a little bit here. He's pointing towards there. That's good. Alright, what we want to do now is we want to actually rotate this object. So to rotate that object, what we're going to do is I'm going to go over to my script here, scroll down here. Creating the rotate is this part here. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a brand new script, right? And we're going to use this script here for that. So while I'm here, I'm going to just call that rotate. So if I go back over to my scene and add a new script, here, create. Now I want a JavaScript this is. I'm going to call this rotate. Double click on the rotate so that my little code comes up. My little editor should come up for this. Just move him over there a little bit. Rotate's come up there. Now what I want to do is I want to grab that script that I had before, which is over here in my document. If I copy that, come back over to my code here, and I'll get rid of the start and the update and just paste that in there. So what this is doing is setting a speed update, so every time it updates, which at the moment is 30 times every second, it's going to make the transform rotate x of 0, a y of this speed, right, times the time, and then a z of 0. Okay, so it's just going to rotate around the y-axis. Save that, close that. Now what we need to do is we need to attach that to the object. So if we click on our cube, inspector, so just before it does run, so you can see, look at him, it's not rotating. But go to inspector, add component, script, rotate, make sure that's rotating, it's rotating at 5. And now if we play it, look at him moving very slowly, but you can see that that's rotating around. That's the first bit.